Coach, what's going on with the offense in the fourth? You guys had your last basket, I think it was 6:42, 2 of 21 from the field. What's happening?
Yeah, tough quarter. I think tonight's fourth quarter is different than some of the other fourth quarter struggles we've had. The last 48 hours, we put a lot of work into our execution. I felt like our execution was better. Shots just didn't fall, and it's a tough night. I think you got Brad battling through his back injury and trying to get his legs under him. KD's been carrying a heavy load for us all season. Played every game in pretty big minutes. But I think the execution was better than it was versus the Lakers and versus, with some of the other fourth quarter breakdowns. We just didn't make shots.
I'm curious when you said you're getting good looks, but is it almost like I saw some guys passing up some shots too, like maybe like it's a corner three and then they're kicking it to someone else?
Yeah, well, we're working through roles for certain guys. You know what I mean? Like, I thought Joshua Okogie had a big offensive improvement game. Instead of relying on, being a volume 3-point shooter, if they're gonna, sag off of him, he made a lot of we call flip plays, redrive plays, one mores to shooters. So we're doing some things with him. We're doing some things with our centers to help them finish better in the basket. Okay, or reshape and get the ball back to KD and to Brad in different ways. And we're working through those types of roles. But we definitely don't want guys passing up shots that are good looks. But we're working through those guys, working through their roles too.
You had said Brad battling the back injury. How much did that bother him
Yeah,
tonight?
he tweaked it in the first half, and there was questions about whether he was going to return, and he toughed it out. The guy wants to be in there. He's a warrior. He's playing through injury, and we got to commend him for that.
Coach, with the execution being better, but the shots just not falling, how frustrating is it, and what is the message to the team as far as running into the same?
Yeah, big picture. Work on our execution, and work on ways to be better. We're going to get right. Yeah, we're going to get right. Like we believe in that. We got a hell of a player coming back soon, hopefully. And, keep a big picture mindset.
You had talked about bringing KD out of the game in the third quarter instead of playing in the full quarter. How did you like that dynamic tonight?
Yeah, well, he didn't have a great fourth quarter, but, it's something that just to give us a different look, instead of riding the whole third, get him out. We want to get him out at about the 3-minute mark, but there wasn't a stoppage. But for him to start the fourth, I thought give us a little bit of a lift there. And, but ultimately, we didn't have a good fourth, so we'll continue to evaluate.
Coach, you mentioned in that third quarter, shots weren't falling, but it seems as though that Drew Eubanks had a lot of energy, some putbacks, and he pretty much supplied a lot of offense that was desperately needed to keep you in the lead and also keep you in the game. Can you talk about his efforts tonight?
Yeah, he was great. He's always playing with high energy, and he lifts us up from that standpoint. Sometimes he's able to put up some scoring numbers like he did tonight and put the ball in the basket. But his screening and his rebounding and his defense is his biggest role on this team. And when we get an offensive performance like he did tonight, that's just a bonus. So he played really well.
Defensively with Shea, what did you like about putting Josh on him, and what down the stretch is kind of the goal against a guy like that who can just create something out of nothing?
Yeah, well, we try to man up and guard more straight up than the last game after getting drilled by the Lakers from the 3-point line last game. And, it's just one of those situations. We double teamed, got beat with threes last game, and try to stay home a little bit more. And, not just Shea, but, Jalen Williams killed us throughout the night, in one-on-one situations. So, credit OKC. This is a really good basketball team. They were pushing for the playoffs last year. I think they got a strong chance to be a playoff team this year, and they were too much for us tonight.
Coach, you went to a zone, I think, at the end of the first half and
Yeah.
at the end of the third. How much will you do more of that? Because that seemed to be at least effective keeping guys in terms of slowing them down offensively.
Yeah, it's just it's one of the looks against that we're going to throw out there from time to time. Especially when we want to keep our center, from being targeted and keep our center in closer to the basket, and ask our forwards to compete on the perimeter. There's been some positive. We had a couple breakdowns. They hit 2 threes against it, so we got out of it. But something that we feel like is going to be part of our package.
Frank, in your experience as a coach, you have a whole new coaching coaching staff, basically almost completely new personnel here, except for a couple of guys. How long does it take for everything to fall into place? You're in obviously a filling out period here with a lot of these guys. How long would you, and you don't have Book, but Book missed a lot of time last year too. It's like, how long do you expect it to take before things start to even out?
Every situation is different, when I just my experience coming into LA, the last time I took over a team in the first year, I was expecting to play around 500 ball the way the Bronze teams did early in Miami, where they started the season for the first month or two playing 500 ball before they really built that cohesion, and we took off right away. I think that would have been the case had we been whole here. We've been a little banged up, so we're battling through that. Ultimately, we will get there for all of us in the organization and our fan base. Can't happen soon enough. We're very eager to get it going. We're working really hard at it, and it's going to come.
Coach, go ahead.
Just to clarify with Brad, when he tweaked his back, was it right before the half when he kind of looked back?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a single play, more than it was just getting irritated.
Coach, you had said, talked about Devin hoping to get him back soon. Could soon be Wednesday?
We'll see.
Thanks, Coach.
Kevin, tonight with the not only just the shooting, but you guys, I think when the last bucket was maybe 6:40 left in the fourth. Just what's your assessment of the looks, the offense after that? You guys only down one at that point.
Yeah, I feel like I missed I missed like 4 shots that went back rim that looked good, leaving my hands. And I think if I don't make shots, that just put pressure on everybody.
When just obviously Bradley was talking, we just asked him, he was like, well, he said he has to be better, but he's obviously dealing with his back. So what's the expectation for him considering what's going on with him?
I don't have expectations for anybody, for anything. I just wanted him to come out there and play his game, and we'll be out there to support him as teammates. So he looked fine to me, but, he knows his body, and, felt like he was moving well the last few games, and hopefully it gets better as time, as we got a couple days off for our next game, so hopefully it gets better by then.
Is this just when you're looking at just the fourth quarter, is it a continuation of what's been happening, or did you see something different tonight?
It's just come down to missed shots. I mean, what we shoot from the field in the fourth?
2 for 21. I think 1 of 8.
I mean, we can't win games that way. No matter how good you got, no matter what names you got on the roster, how many points they scored in the history of the game, if you don't make shots that night, you can't win. And they made shots. Jalen Williams, 11 for 16, 3 for 4 from the 3. Chet, 3 for 6 from the 3. And Shea, 13 for 20. I made shots. They made 8 more baskets than us. That's the game.
Kevin, you're used to the pressure of having to be that offensive engine for every team you've ever played on, but how does a stretch like this affect you? Does it wear on you at all?
Mentally? No, I mean,
Day to day.
it's frustrating losing games. You hate to lose, but been through it before. You understand what needs to be done. You can be mad all you want, but the solution, you got to come to a solution at some point. So, it's tough losing games, but I like the just the fabric of the guys in the locker room that we'll figure it out.
Frank, you're talking about taking you out earlier in the third so you can start the fourth. Did that look change anything? Did you like that look at all?
No, I mean, it don't matter when I come out the game or when I go in. I still got to play my game.
Kevin, in the fourth quarter, was it a matter of you guys just missing shots, law of averages, or was it something they were doing?
I think we got good looks. I think we got good shots up. We got a couple offensive rebounds, too. I think we got good shots up. They made some tough ones over us, too. I keep telling you, it's a make or miss league. If you make shots, everything look better. If you miss shots, everything look worse. That's just what it is.
Katie, what stood out to you in terms of the bench production and guys like Drew and Jordan stepping up?
Yeah, they came out and played a great game. Jordan came in aggressive, looking for a shot, made shots for us when we needed. Drew, we talked about getting him the ball more in the paint so he can finish, and tonight he did a great job of that. So we're going to need more of that from those guys moving forward.
Kevin, you said about Devin, about, he's what makes you guys go, and obviously he's getting closer and closer to getting back. Maybe what would it mean, not only to getting back, but to play some continual games with him to get some chemistry going?
Yeah, you're looking forward to that. Just going to keep the defense honest. I feel like right now they feel like they could cheat a little bit and leave guys open and zone up, just play gimmicky a little bit. But when you got a guy like Devin out there, you got to be focused on him. You got to be locked in on him, along with the other guys on the floor. So just give us more firepower and just make our team complete. And hopefully he's out there soon.
17 turnovers, were you guys forcing it a little too much, or was it just their defense that was?
Yeah, forcing it. They play in the paint a lot. They guard a lot in the paint. They send 2 or 3 guys in the paint. So it's just about making the correct play. Sometimes just slowing down. We play too fast sometimes, trying to make the home run play when we could just hit singles. And I just, feel like once we start making shots and we start, that ball starts swinging and even more, we'll be in good shape.
Kevin, on the flip side, the Thunder only had 1 turnover in the first half. How do you guys force more turnovers on the defensive side?
It would be more aggressive and get our hand in the passing lane a little bit more, pressure the basketball. We could do all that stuff better.
You mentioned about having more singles and using the baseball metaphors instead of just trying to go for home runs like that one of the last sequences you had with the team was trying to go for threes and such. Are you trying to get more play with just trying to cut the lead with simple twos and then get into a press, or you just?
Nowadays in the NBA, the single is a 3-point shot. That's what it feel like. Everybody want threes over twos. But it's the threes you shoot over people. Those are the ones that are like the home run plays, shooting tough shots, but we want to get more threes up. Every team in the league, every team in the country that plays basketball right now want to shoot more threes, So we have to continue to generate those shots. We feel like we put ourselves in good position. We got some good looks up tonight. We've been getting good looks up all season from the 3.
You made the trade. Could you have anticipated there would be this much transition where you'd have a whole new coaching staff and practically a whole new player personnel roster besides the few guys that you had?
Did I think? Did I expect? No, I didn't.
You're coming to a pretty established team.
Yeah, I don't expect much out of anything. I just go with the flow, and whatever happens, I got to adapt and adjust. So I don't. We deal with what we deal with, and we move forward.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Drew, what did you think about the fourth quarter and how you guys weren't able to finish?
I think turnovers probably killed us before the fourth quarter even started. As some coaches been on us about shoring up and limiting, because we're just giving away extra possessions, extra potential points. I think I had 2 or 3, so coming off the bench, I got to be better than that. But yeah, I don't think. I know that the fourth quarter, I think we maybe made like 2 shots or whatever, but I think our problems have been well before the fourth.
Coach said in the last 2 days there's been a lot of communication about execution and what you guys want to fix. What were some of those emphases that?
Turnovers, one of them. Not being so, getting a lot of off-ball movement, especially with KD posting up, really since the Lakers game. To start the year, teams have just been sending a body at him, and sometimes we've had success swinging it out and making the right play, and sometimes we've thrown the ball away or not executed. So just trusting that next pass has been something we need to get right.
Drew, what was working for you on the offensive end, getting a lot of easy dunks, wide open dunks?
Yeah, just guys making the right play, and they would send their big paint low man type of team where they'll send the guy that's in the dunker, and KD and Brad
draw a lot of attention. So that just left me open, and that was something before the game too. Coach was wanting to get more action from me out of the dunker, and I know we didn't get any lobs, but that was one thing that they were talking about.
Do you have any assessment from your personal point of view as to why do you think this team goes through the lulls in the fourth quarter of the last several games?
I think it's just new team, new system, new coaches. Well, I think we all come from different backgrounds for sure, all over the NBA, different play styles. So I think it's just, it's still early. We're 10 games in, long season. I know it's been a long month and a half or whatever, but we still got a lot more games to play, and got a lot more practice time, and we'll figure it out.
When you came in at about 9 minutes left in the first quarter, after Nurk got into foul trouble, and you seemed to have a little bit more of a spark, and basically were containing Chet. And so, can you talk about how you pretty much brought a different defense than Nurk was doing on Chet?
Yeah, I think Chet's just a lot more agile than Nurk is. Nurk's more of he does better against guys like Vucevic and Jokic, slower, bigger guys. So I got a good combination of physicality and athleticism, which I think matches up well with how Chet plays. He's not going to really want to bang in the post too much. He's going to want to try to take you off the dribble. So, that's my job. That's been my calling card for my 6 years in the NBA, is just bringing in energy off the bench. And, starters are going to do their thing, but it's always got to be my job to come in and bring something. So that's what I try to do.
The Thunder scored 50 points in the paint. Can you talk about when an offensive team breaks your defense down, gets in the middle of your defense, and just creates chaos? What does that do to your defense as far as defending these guys? Because there are a lot of points that were just penetration.
Yeah, it's just rotation. We got to be sharper with our rotations, and that low man has to come over sooner and make them kick it to shooters. And I don't think I can't remember if they're really a pretty good 3-point shooting team, but we got to at least make an attempt to rotate, and that's, like I said, it's early. We're all learning each other. We're learning everybody's tendencies, like who's a better on-ball defender, who's more likely to get blown by or whatever. I think that just comes with time playing together.
I was just asking Coach about that. How long, in your experience, do you think it takes for a new group like this to get through that process?
I don't know. This is my first run with a championship mindset team. So, all the teams that I've played on, San Antonio, Portland to a degree last year, have all been kind of established teams with established play styles. Whereas this team is, like I said, coming from every corner of the league. So don't really have a timetable, but I know getting booked back will help a lot. And just more time playing together. That's all we need.
Coach was talking about how much you have the springs and play a lot above the rim. Is there any reason why there hasn't been more plays for backdoor lobs to basically favor your style when you're in there?
And I don't want to keep going back to like it's a new team, but that's basically what it is. I'm trying to gain KD's, Brad's, JO's, Goody's, like everybody's trust, and having games like this, having other games like maybe Utah game where I've had success in touch shots and dunking, it's just gain everybody's trust, and fifth time now, it'll take time, that's it is what it is.
What's the feeling of you guys as players right now? Was there anything shared, or how are you kind of approaching what's next?
Frustration for sure. We feel like we're better than these teams that we're losing to, but that doesn't mean anything if we don't bring it, we don't execute and play like it. So my mindset doesn't change. Like I said, I'm coming out every game trying to hit people, trying to make people uncomfortable, trying to get guys open, bring energy. So game to game, my mindset doesn't change.
Do you think down the stretch in the fourth quarter that the guys that are around KD and Beal are deferring too much as far as not being in rhythm, ready to shoot when it's time to make a play?
Maybe, yeah. They're great players, so of course, you want them to have the ball in their hands in the fourth quarter. I think when we played the Lakers the other night, they did a good job of trusting that next pass and trusting making the right play. I'm not saying that KD and Brad aren't doing that. They're doing that as much as they can, but it was not cool to see, but it was like they made the right pass. Cam Reddish wide open, threes in the corner, and they made the right play. And I think just getting that trust and being able to execute that will be huge down the stretch, and we'll figure it out.
You lost the game, but you won the rebounding war. It's 52 to 33. So with you having 4 offensive rebounds and extending possessions, can you talk about the importance and how that helps the Suns' offense in so many ways?
Yeah, we got a lot of great 3-point shooters, so as many tap outs as I can get, offensive rebounds that we can get. It just best time to shoot a 3 is after an offensive rebound, they say. So that's just another one of the things I'm trying to do is just energy plays.
All right, thanks, Drew. Thank you.
Yep.